to its recklessness, to its total disregard for the peace and stability of the country. Because if we were a violent party, we have the capacity to resist the police, but we chose not to resist the police. We chose to remain civil, to allow the government to expose itself. We allow the government to expose itself before the entire world and the Liberian people, even to the point of rooting up the symbolic sycamore tree. Why does eviction have to do with the destruction of a tree? Why does eviction have to do with the uprooting of a tree? Hey, my people.
Yo, you have been to the mission problem. Yo. Oh, yeah, American and the church of complete mission. Yo. Yo.
Down. Police installations are down. Down. Death squad is down.
The warlike deployment of state security and the level of brutality and malice exhibited during the eviction and the demolition, destruction of our police clearly points to a creeping police state that must and will be resisted with every ounce of our energy. Liberia can never and will never revert to a one-party state. Never can Liberia revert to a one-party state. The systematic attempt to come down on political freedoms is a sad mistake of the ruling party government, reminiscent of Liberia's past. Liberia cannot and will not be allowed to sink back into its dark past. We will stand tall and resolute and unbending in defending democracy. A creeping dictatorship will not be allowed to flourish. Over the last 18 months, we have continued to put this reckless government on structural notice. And we will continue to do so until we can bury this government democratically come 2029. The several issues that we have highlighted today is just a glimpse of the chaos, abuses, and the real horrors the Kowo administration has unleashed. These violations are a shadow of the much darker, more dangerous reality Liberians face every single day. Every day, videos are emerging of police brutality. Videos are emerging of police beating and killing people. The police started in 2024 in Jaw, where a murder in cold blood. But we can assure you that there will be a day of reckoning. There will be full accountability for all of the murders that you are committing. There will be full accountability for all of the excesses. It is crystal clear that the Kowo regime is determined to turn our country into a breeding ground of lawlessness and fear. But we want you
and we are shared. We quiet and don't be silly. We are the bird of CDC. We never see that.
This is the survival of our democracy that we have fought for in the last many years. If this reckless government can tear down our headquarters, our party headquarters today, just think of what they might feel empowered to do to the rights, freedoms, and the future of our people. They will try to crush those two, but they can be assured that the necessary barricades and checkpoints will be erected. As the largest opposition party in the country, we urge ECOWAS, the African Union, the US government, the European Union, the United Nations, all our international allies and partners to stop ignoring these atrocities before it is too late. Don't wait until our peace is shattered. Don't wait until our people are plunged into total despair. In that compromise, we at the CDC will continue to resist loudly, boldly, but peacefully. We will not bow to the tyrannical rule of this government trying to impose on us. We at the CDC will never surrender our country to dictatorship. We as the CDC will never surrender this country to dictatorship. It has also come to the attention of the CDC that the University of Liberia faculty has gone on strike. We stand in firm solidarity with the students and the faculty. That this government has demonstrated total insensitivity. In 2024, when the government came to power, the university was closed for almost 1 year. 1 whole year, the university was closed in 2024 due to neglect and lack of funding. When the CDC government in 2018 declared free education at the UL, we kept the university open throughout. We increased the wages and salaries of the workers. And we made sure that when we left power, we turned over a robust university to the Unity Party. But the Unity Party government kept the university closed up to the whole of 2024. And we reverted to bringing a non-Liberian to head the university. And we as professionals thought it was important to give that non-Liberian the opportunity. Perhaps maybe that was a solution, or it can be clearly saying that the university is headed in the wrong direction as a dilapidated and faculty is going unpaid. The welfare of faculty is being ignored. And so we stand in full solidarity with the students of the university as well as the faculty. As we conclude today's press conference, we will continue to consult other democratic actors to determine our next courses of action. And these next courses of action will be in the confines of the Constitution and laws of the Republic of Liberia. Thank you very much. May God Almighty save Liberia and its people during this difficult time. Amanda! Hey! Amanda! Hey! Amanda! Hey!
Thank you. So at this point, we're entertaining questions for members of the press. So raise your hand. We are taking at most 5 questions. At most 5 questions. Raise your hand. Will be recognized. State your name and the institution you work for. And your question should be asked in the confines of what was communicated to you.
All right, so thank you, Chairman Kowo, and yes, Emmanuel Mupolu, and of course I report for Inside Liberia. Thank you. Many Liberians in Liberia and outside of the country have admired your tolerance, especially on the day of the demolition through the evasion. But one of the public conversation is finding, some arms to the party headquarters. And then you have said that it is not the party that was in possession of this. What can substantiate your argument that the party was not the one who was in possession of those arms and ammunition that were found on camera when journalists were around? Thank you so much, Chairman.
So to answer that question, we didn't see any journalist pointing, because when those arms were shown, they were shown outside. So we have not seen any video that went to where they compacted from the arms. But more than that, the government of Liberia in clear proof of prejudice, the government of Liberia in clear proof of prejudice and malice went to the Moria City and procured a search and seizure warrant in addition to the court eviction. So they have a search and seizure, and we have gotten copies of the sheriff's return. I'm being informed at the CDC headquarters.
Thank you.
Question number 2.
I'm a concern from focus on Liberia. I'm concerned about the return of the former president. It's been speculated that citizens were over the weekend gathered in a mass number at the Rapid International Airfield Highway to receive the former president. How true is it? If that is true, have you petitioned the government to the police to provide security for your policies?
So when Liberians are assembling, they do not need to seek permission to assemble. We didn't seek permission to assemble here. Liberians under the Constitution have the right to assemble any day, any time. And when the president itinerary is confirmed, CDC will be duly notified and will assemble any day, any time. We do not need permission from the government to assemble, but it's constitutionally guaranteed right.
Question number 3. Welcome, Chair. I'm Bruno G. Bucket. I'm fine with the new newspaper. Every fact of constant that you have a few documents at the Supreme Court. What is news, especially when you have gone through painful demolition of the structure?
So the lawyers are now consulting whether our appeal at the Supreme Court will not be brought in futility. Because the reason why we went to court was to prevent what happened on Saturday. And I want to point out, we are not a unity party. Because people try to compare the unity party and the CDC. No. The unity party occupied several headquarters, and they didn't erect a stake at any of these headquarters. Nothing. Where they occupied for nearly 12 years, they didn't erect a block. So they had no claim to that headquarters. So their case is different. So if that's the reason why, because they are empowered, they want to demolish, we want for the people to know that the Unity Party did not erect one block at the headquarters for 12 years. But you saw the city's headquarters. We didn't build a technical college there. We had a church there. And we developed the place. And throughout the 20 years, we had never occupied the headquarters illegally. Even this fellow whose suit they are using as a pretext to demolish the city's headquarters. We were on time for him, we pay him monies, we have an agreement for him to sell the place to us. Because logically, anybody will tell you that if you sell that property, citizens should have the first right, and he wrote us and told her who had the first right of refusal. And when he tried to renege, that's why we went to court. And that case should have been decided before demolishing those properties. But that case is pending before the Supreme Court. So while that case is pending before the Supreme Court and you demolish those properties, that are sued before the Supreme Court. And I've asked several senior lawyers. Which statute over Article 20A and B? Which statute? And they are trying to find, in some proceeding, a bill does not have to say, no, there's a different case. There's a case where we have developed a property and we went to an agreement with the owner to buy this property. We have been paying him monies. And we went to court, we sue him. And the case is before the Supreme Court. Only a Supreme Court ruling against us who have facilitated what happened. But to disregard the appeal before the Supreme Court and destroy those properties. So if the Supreme Court rules CDC favor, will you plant by our Sakamo tree? Will you plant by our Sakamo tree? No, you will not plant our Sakamo tree. Because it took 20 years to nurture that Sakamo tree. So forget everything. Can they, if we prevail at the Supreme Court, can they plant back the Sakamo tree? No. No. So there's clearly a case of abuse of power. And I think the government took advantage of the judicial transition. Because that weekend was a transition in the judiciary, and you take advantage of a transition in the judiciary to destroy the headquarters of the major opposition. You are even standing by to kill people. Are we not being, law abiding to say, oh no, we do not want loss of life? Because if we were not a patriotic party, we were here on the power in 2023. We were here on the power, so all that thing is doing is mere bluff. Our surrender of power is a testament of our democratic credentials. And we will not allow the Unity Party government to tint it. You will do anything, but you will not tint our democratic credentials. You will continue to expose your ineptitude and lack of capacity to govern.
Question number 4, Chairman Flam.
Thank you, Chairman. My name is Strogon Flammer and I work for DN News. After the demolition of your party headquarters, we saw a release, a committee constituted by the former president, and the CDC is expected to break ground for the new headquarters. Someone says somebody gave the land to the CDC. Now they don't know who gave the land to the CDC. The next thing is the former president general, they are not on the committee for the construction of the new party headquarters. Can you address us?
Please have a quiet and listen to the chairman's response, please. Hello, please keep quiet, please.
So the National Executive Committee of the party is ex officio on every committee. The National Executive from the Standard Bureau, the chairman, the vice chairman, all members of the National Executive Committee as per the constitution, they are ex officio. So they are members of that committee, they don't have to be listed. They are ex officio by constitutional provision.
Last question.
Okay, Honorable Chairman, my name is Roland Sam, I report from RTV6. My question to you is that I overheard that the headquarters was demolished illegally and you are consulting your lawyers. If and only if the Supreme Court does not call you for redress because you filed your appeal, so if it doesn't call you, are you still going to file another legal action?
No, so under the law, appeal is a right. Appeal is a right. That's why Article 20 A and B say any judgment from any inferior court out of the Supreme Court, an appeal serves as a stay. And I've been asking senior lawyers, which provision of the Constitution actually override Article 20 A and B? That clearly the letter of the Constitution says when there is an appeal, it serves as a stay on the execution of judgment. So the Supreme Court will definitely hear the case. But I'm only asking, if the Supreme Court rule in our favor, will the government plant back our Sakamo tree? No. So the damage, and that's why the framework of the Constitution provided for appeal. So you don't go, that somebody is convicted for murder, and the person is sentenced to death. The person got a case on appeal, but you execute you kill the person while the case is at the Supreme Court. So when the Supreme Court rule in the man's favor, will you bring him back to life? No. So there's a clear case. That one makes the demolition illegal. Because we perfected the appeal. On the eve of the demolition, we perfected the appeal. We filed a bail extension for it. The judge signed it. And we perfected the appeal. The judge signed the appeal bond. We forwarded it to the Supreme Court bench. Which means he lost jurisdiction. Once they appealed before the Supreme Court, the lower court, the small court lost jurisdiction. But still, because the government is a reckless government that does not respect the rule of law, and so they proceeded to demolish the CDC headquarters, even though an appeal is pending before the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court ruling our fraud today, we did plan all the things that the damage there, we did restore it. So with the lawyers are consulting on filing a separate suit. Because even that agree you were doing an eviction. Why will you destroy our properties? Why will you destroy our properties? You evicting. When you in the process of eviction, you destroy all our properties. Your police is not camera looting. Is that now a mockery of the judicial process? It's a mockery. And if the government is brave enough to go to the CDC, so we can assure you that the government can go beyond that. And the government must be assured that it will be confronted every step of the way.
Yo!
To that bring